the PGA of America named Keegan Bradley as the Ryder Cup captain. So the Ryder Cup generally, right? So the U.S., it's when you compare the U.S. to Europe, the European team, like those guys just all come together, like week in and week out, like they're trying to obviously kill each other, like everybody is, or all, like the Americans do on tour. But when it comes time for Ryder Cup, there's such a camaraderie there between Europe, and it is such a noticeable difference between that and the American team, right? And so my big bitch with the U.S. Ryder Cup team for years, for the most part, and a lot of times they're getting trounced.
Yeah.
Specifically recently, when they go to Europe, they just get killed.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Anyways, next Ryder Cup is in New York.
Okay.
And so they named Keegan Bradley as the Ryder Cup captain, which took Keegan Bradley by surprise. It kind of took a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
So the backstory on this is Keegan Bradley got snubbed from the Ryder Cup team last in 2023. Zach Johnson went with like the buddy club, and he picked Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. He picked a lot of guys that didn't have as good a year as Keegan Bradley, that weren't playing as well as him at the time. And so Keegan Bradley got screwed. So I think this is a correction on their part to do this. But let me just say, I fucking love this pick. Like, this is an amazing pick. Like, I've been saying all along that the United States needs a captain. They need players that are fired up, that want to be there, that want to kick the shit out of Europe. Like, that's the whole. And Keegan Bradley is that guy. Like, so this is the perfect. This is just. Again, a phenomenal pick. Tiger Woods passed it up this year because he's got a whole bunch of other stuff going on kind of off the course.
Yeah.
And he'll be a captain down the line whenever he wants to be. But I mean, Keegan Bradley, America is going to find out about Keegan Bradley next year, like on a much wider scale. And they're going to love this guy. Like they're absolutely going to love him. I think the United States team is going to be favored. Obviously, New York, that crowd's going to be out of their minds. It's going to be extremely hard for Europe to rise to that level. And Keegan Bradley, what I also love about him is he's not going to play politics with anything. He's not picking buddies. I'm going to pick the 12 best guys. He doesn't care if they're on PGA. He doesn't care if they're on Live. So you're going to have Live guys on this team. Like there's no way Bryson's not making this team. As it gets closer, we'll see who emerges from that pack. But I just kudos finally. USA.
It's for country pride, basically.
Finally getting a pick right. I mean, look at some of these previous captains. So Zach Johnson was the last one. Just a total popcorn fart of a human. Steve Stricker was before that. Now, Steve Stricker was good. They won with Steve Stricker. That was like, so the Steve Stricker wasn't bad. Before that, Jim Furyk. They had Davis Love, who did win in 2016. Prior to that, though, the U.S. lost 3 times in a row. Those captains were Tom Watson, who completely bungled it, if you know anything about that. Davis Love III was before that. He wasn't very good in his first go-round. Corey Pavin was okay, but the U.S. team ultimately ended up losing. They've had some other slugs in the past. Tom Lehman his team got drubbed. Hal Sutton famously passed on John Daly. John Daly, also, fun fact, the only 2-time major winner in golf history to have never played on a Ryder Cup team.
Wow.
And Hal Sutton passed him over. So, and again,
just because he didn't like his personality, or
he didn't like John Daly, basically. So, and John Daly, again, another one of those guys that would be perfect. I would love to see him in a vice captain role too, because he, if you really want to put this in Europe, put him there, because he'll make those guys have fun. And, if you really want to get the crowd advantage. So anyway, that's my Ryder Cup spiel. But just finally they get it right with Keegan Bradley as the captain.